Welcome back. Well, today is Ash Wednesday, which is the start of the Lenten season, which means for many Christians around the world, it's a time of prayer and reflection. My first guest is the head of the Anglican Church here in Trinidad and Tobago, Bishop Claude Berkley. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning, Lisa.
How
Good
was
morning to all your listeners and to all across the world. Happy Lenten season.
How was
to
your
you.
carnival?
Very restful. I got a lot of desk work done,
Yes,
and my carnival is basically literary.
yes.
So once I get the calypsos and related matters out of the way, I'm all right.
You're resting and preparing for Lent, which is
Yes.
a very significant part of the church. How does the Anglican Church commemorate Lent?
Well, in the traditional ways, I would say, which is worldwide for many denominations that follow and observe Lent. It is a time of penitence, a time of penance also, in that sense of additional worship sessions, study of the scriptures, fasting, work for the poor, and the general reflection of seeking to convert oneself more and more, becoming more and more like Jesus.
Yes.
Now, there's often a criticism, for example, that you've just had Carnival and you're jumping straight into trying to either shake off the sins or whatever else of Carnival into the Lenten season. I just would like to make the point for some people who do not realize it, whether there's Carnival or not, Ash Wednesday comes.
Right, yes.
There are many countries in the world that do not have a Carnival time at all time, but Ash Wednesday is today,
Right.
and the Lenten season begins. Originally a period of preparation for Easter for those to be baptized, and eventually working its way into a devotional period for all persons, persons within the church and persons outside the church. That is how it has been. Of course, today it is a little more disconnected and dissolute, even among some church members. But it is a time, as I said earlier, of fasting, prayer, almsgiving, special services, special duties and work for the poor, a special time of reflection and training of one's spiritual self,
Yes.
so that you are sort of refitted for the rest of the year.
So the whole idea of prayer, almsgiving, and fasting is associated with Lent itself and not necessarily the Roman Catholic Church or the Anglican Church.
No, there's
It's
a sort of
specifically-
ecumenical
Yeah.
approach to this.
Yes.
Some of this might have been projected out of the Roman Catholic Church at different times in their councils and adopted by its ecumenical partners. So the church is one whole wide church with different sections, but a number of the groups do things in common. And this is a part of the common heritage of the Christian church.
Yes.
And those who are of that, let's say, traditional type of heritage follow those things.
Yes. What about ashes? Today's Ash Wednesday.
Yes.
So would you have across the Anglican Church the commemoration of the ashes, and what is the meaning of it?
And Lisa, it is one of the biggest lapses I have made to begin this Lenten season, not having my ashes with me to impose ashes.
Would you have given me ashes?
I would have imposed ashes on the entire crew.
All the crew?
Those who would receive it, that is.
Oh, I thought you had to be in the church.
No, man. It is the intention of those who
I
have
would have
received the
asked
ashes
you.
to pursue a time of spiritual devotion and reflection.
Yes.
And the ashes is that sign and signal, reminding us of our mortality and our sense of penitence. So ashes has been connected with purification and penitence. And so it marks that time of reminding us of our frailty or dependence on God or lack of our own sustenance, and that way of looking forward to the greater power that has created us, that sustains us, that even saves us and that which makes us holy. So it is that time when we look into ourselves to strengthen ourselves for the rest of the year, so to speak. I sometimes refer to it as going to the dockyard.
Yeah.
You know, the boats have to, in order to be seaworthy, you've got to check in every so often to refit.
Yes.
And this is a time of spiritual refitting and strengthening and boosting oneself for the ups and downs of life, the wear and tear on one's body, mind, and spirit, so that you can make the journey to the next time around, so to speak.
What are the guidelines around fasting?
But various guidelines apply, and it has changed over the years in terms of what people do. We have practiced actually having a slight meal before 6 a.m.
Yeah.
and taking your fast to 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. as your strength, health, and other factors may
This
apply.
is for 40 days or on specific days?
Specific days. But one can go for all of it, excluding Sundays. Sundays are considered celebratory days.
Yes.
But the weekdays, those 6 days, are days that one can actually fast. And the Ash Wednesday and Good Friday are the prescribed days in the more modern display of it.
Yes.
But that is maybe just for the person who is literally so. There are other people who would prescribe a 7-day fast or a 21-day fast out of those 40 days, as the case might be.
But I guess it's a personal choice as well, if you want to do the 40 days or you want to do 3 days a week.
Yes,
And so on.
it's one's choice.
Yes. Well, we just have a few more seconds. What
Okay.
message would you like to give to the viewers this Lenten season?
Well, this Lenten season, as with other Lenten seasons, I would like to exhort our republic and the world at large to consider our spiritual selves. Some people are not Christian, but you have a God of your heart and of your tribe and group, as the case might be. Let us consider the time and take the time to strengthen ourselves, to become more and more of the ideals of what our religious beliefs proclaim, and in so doing make the world a better place. So for example, for the number of churches we have in our nation, we should probably have much less crime and violence and a number of other things. But it seems as if we sometimes miss the mark, and the focused emphasis on spiritual things takes a back seat. So I'm calling for a focused emphasis on our spiritual selves and the execution of those good gifts which it brings.
Bishop Berkley, thank you so much
Very
for coming
welcome.
out this morning and kicking off our Lenten season. And of course, we're going to be speaking with His Grace Archbishop Jason Gordon in the second half of the show. So thank you very much for coming.
Very welcome.
And I'm just so disappointed that I didn't tell you, bring the ashes, man. Bless the
But
whole studio.
But I should have
Bless the whole
done
studio.
that.
Okay, while you wait here with
Okay.
me, we
Yes.
are going to take in a video that succinctly puts together the meaning of Lent. Let's take a look.